It takes me back to the alarm clock that buzzes.
Mm-hmm.
To the donut adventure that feels like its own side movie.
So let me give you a perfect 80s moment. You know when she plays basketball with the boys, and then she gets on her
montages.
The montages. But then she gets on her motorcycle and she's driving onto the court and she shoots a shot while driving, right? And it goes right in. And then we cut to two of the guys and there's a slow-mo high five. That is the most fucking 80s thing. Mm-hmm. My God, that is the most fucking 1985 fucking thing you're ever going to see in your entire life. I apologize for my language. I'm working on it. But holy moly, Bajoli, it is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That is quintessential desperate to be cool, but lame most of the time 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted to have the cool high five moment, but when they did it, everybody looked like a dork.
And yet we didn't think that at the time. It's only now we look back and it looks dorky, but at the time it was like, whatever. You never even gave it a second thought.
Welcome to Season 4 of Talking Pondo. Talking Pondo is a podcast where Clif and Marty give each other a film to watch and talk about them in detail. Some episodes will include a special guest.
Betsy Russell Crowe will not be seen this week, so we may bring you a porno with a plot.
Betsy Russell Crowe. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
Hello, Cliff.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
We're back. It's Talking Pondo. We're keeping it light this week. Well,
that's right, Marty.
Sort of.
That's right, Marty. Got two interesting movies this week.
What in God's name did we watch this week?
Strangely, I think you've already found the connection. But we watched two very different, but also weirdly similar movies called The Nice Guys and Tomboy. 1985's Tomboy. And I think The Nice Guys is from 2016, 2010?
Yeah, it's 10 years old. Unbelievable.
2016. Yeah.
But yeah, you go through them and you're like, wait a minute. They are kind of equally crass in many ways, aren't they?
Oh, very much so. Yes.
Oh, wow. But, we're back again. We're moving on through it here. We got some more listener mail. Didn't want to blow it all out in previous episodes. So this is a response to Talking Borman.
Oh, okay. Nice.
When we had the Excalibur and Point Blank episode, that epic, which I just finished listening to myself, the released version.
Folks, that's a good episode. You should go back and listen to that one. I feel like we had a really good conversation about those two films.
And so somebody over on the site formerly known as Twitter, who calls himself Stu World Order, just says, good movie about Excalibur. And it's like,
it absolutely is.
It's a good movie.
Stu World Order, we agree with you. Excalibur is a good movie.
I also saw somebody post something about, movies allow demons into your house, that type of nonsense. And then somebody's like, yeah, I watched Excalibur with my husband and then he started having seizures. I'm thinking, I don't think Excalibur, the movie about holiness, is responsible for that, but that's just an aside. But maybe these movies would have induced seizures, perhaps.
There's a lot of spell casting in that movie, Marty.
And also, if you remember
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and all that stuff.
Our Talking Shakespeare episode from a few weeks back, where we had not only Drew Kalin, but we had the Too Vague podcast with Ben and Andrew. And so Andrew sends me his little newsletter zines every now and then, and on the back of the latest one it says podcasts I've been on lately, Talking Pondo. So we're in print there.
That's right.
And then on
things
the back,
are going to start happening to us now.
See a picture of Mango, the podcat from the Too Vague podcast, if you remember there. I guess that counts as viewer mail, sort of.
This sort of free advertising. My name in print. Our podcast name in print.
He hates these cans. Did we watch The Jerk this week?
We did not.
Well, in a way, we kind of did. You mush these two movies together and blink really quick. So
Which one you want to attack first?
What were they again? What?
Tomboy
Tomboy
and the Nice
and the
Guys.
Nice Guys. Wow, we come up with some
Let's do
interesting matches around here.
Yeah, let's do the Nice Guys first.
Oh, you can do the Nice Guys first. Okay. Merry Christmas. What is the Nice Guys? Doesn't Shane Black love to put Christmas in his movies, though, even if it's
does.
briefly? Yeah.
He does. The Nice Guys, 2016, rated R, 1 hour, 56 minutes. Here's your logline. In 1970s Los Angeles, a mismatched pair of private eyes investigate a missing girl and the mysterious death of a porn star. Written and directed by Shane Black, stars Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling, Anjali Rice, and I think this is an early Margaret Qualley, too, if I'm not mistaken. Storyline. In 1977 Los Angeles, single father and licensed PI Holland March is hired to investigate the apparent suicide of famous porn star Misty Mountains. Great name. As the trail leads him to track down a girl named Amelia, he encounters less licensed and less hands-off private eye Jackson Healy and his brass knuckles, both hired by the young hippie Amelia. However, the situation takes a turn for the worse when Amelia vanishes and it becomes apparent that Marsh wasn't the only interested party. As both men are forced to team up, they need to take on a world filled with eccentric goons, strippers dressed as mermaids, and even a possible government conspiracy. The tagline of this movie is nice pair. Kind of perfect.
You know, not enough hobbits for my taste. You got Misty Mountains. Where are the fucking hobbits?
Where are the hops?
You got hippies. Where's Led Zeppelin? Somewhere mixed up.
You got ham. You got no burger. You got Kool-Aid. You ain't got no sugar.
Wow, this movie.
Gil Gerard is in this fucking movie?
Yeah, I didn't even realize it till the credits.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Where is he hiding in this movie? Who was he again?
He must be one of the Chevrolet executives. I'm thinking he's one of the Chevrolet executives.
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching this movie. I'm like almost halfway through it. And I had this thought like, this feels like an old script that finally got an opportunity to get made. And I looked it up and fucking bingo, right on the money. This script is from 2001. It was redeveloped into a TV show at one point, and that didn't happen. And then they redeveloped it to put it in the 70s because it wasn't originally in the 70s. And then after Iron Man 3, hey, Shane Black, what do you want to do next? Hey, I want to do The Nice Guys. Send it to Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. 3 days later, they signed on. And then he said, after 13 years, it came together in 3 days. And it was like, see, this reminded me like Always or America's Sweethearts, where it's like, this is just something that's been on the back burner and the opportunity to make it happen. And boom, we just shot it out. So, yeah.
I that's interesting because normally when that happens, the project is not very good, and I don't think that this necessarily suffered like Always did from that sort of rushed, like, oh, we have the script sitting around, let's get to it.
It's better than Always, yeah.
I think it's
better than America's Sweethearts, yeah.
Very much so. Well, yeah. I mean, I like America's Sweethearts. I know you don't, but I thought this was, for the most part, one of the things about this movie and why I gave it to you is that I keep coming across it and catching it in bits, and I don't know where I am in the movie as I'm watching it. And you really need to have the whole thing from beginning to end. Like, you can't come into this movie 20 minutes in or 30 minutes in or 40 minutes in. You're not going to fucking know what's going on, and it's not going to make a lot of sense. Right. And so now that I've watched it from beginning to end, I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. There were a couple of real laugh out loud moments for me. I think Ryan Gosling plays a great idiot, and I'm kind of into, like, I've told you this before about the Pope's Exorcist and shit. Like, I like that Russell Crowe. I'm enjoying this later in his career Russell Crowe who's leaning into different parts and trying different stuff, and so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, much like the other movie today, there's like no plot for like an hour. And then all of a sudden the inciting incident happens like an hour in. And it's like, oh, I think this movie is just a little too long. I think you could have chopped about a half hour out of that beginning.
The inciting incident is Misty Mountains dying in the fucking car crash. That's the beginning
for
of
me,
everything.
It was when they finally meet Kim Basinger and get hired.
Well, no, that's just the reveal of the bad guy, and the further along in the plot. I mean, early on, of course, it's you're watching the two of them, and then of course he breaks his arm and all that shit, and there's a back and forth, and they team up, right? So I mean, I can see how you would think that like it took a lot of time to get to the team up and then to kind of get the rest of that story going for sure. But for me, the inciting incident is that car crash. Apparently, there's an alternate version that's censored where they don't do the centerfold spread and her topless on the car, and a lot of the girls are wearing bikinis. So I guess they shot alternate versions. Because
it made a little more sense, but
Shane Black put a shitload of nudity in this movie.
Yeah, it's crass, gross, and unnecessary. The nice guys, but it's 10 years ago when they still made movies like this. But I didn't really care for this that much. It's like the John McTiernan connection, right? Like, because didn't Shane Black write Predator?
Mm-hmm.
And then John McTiernan directed that.
If I'm not mistaken, he's in it too. I think he plays.
Yeah, that's right. He's
nerdy guy.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, then they're both hit or miss for me. And this was one of those like
we just talked about Linklater last. We just talked about Linklater last week. It's the same thing for me, right? It's just if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
And I'm thinking this feels like an older script. I'm like, it's got that 90s Shanghai Nights tinge to it. So by the time it comes out in 2016, it almost feels like an anomaly,
It feels like he took the characters from Lethal Weapon, shook them up a little bit, changed them a little bit, and then put it through some sort of late 90s, early 2000s sort of comedy blender. But I still think I think it's better than that. I think it was enjoyable. It was funny. I liked all the weird different elements happening and sort of the inexplicability of it. Who was the hang on just a second, Keith David. Man, if you want a good action sequence, if you want a good fight sequence, call Keith David.
I mean, he'll
hook you up. He'll hook you up.
It looks good. It's shot really well. The performances are all good. It's just this story was just kind of it's like what do they call this, like a hacker, right? Is what they call like one of these action movies that you're not really supposed to think that much about. Just put it on, enjoy the action movie, and get on with your day, kind of.
I think that it's more comedy than it is action. And I think it's got kind of a wry sense of humor to it. It's kind of funny. Like, and so-and-so's got a gay towel. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
we're 3 minutes into this movie. What are we doing here? And, I appreciate the line marriage is buying a house for someone you hate. Like, I thought that was fucking funny. And I think it defines his character very early on.
It's weird to have two narrators in the beginning, right?
It's a little bit. Yeah, it is. And then it stops as they become together as one unit. They both stop narrating. One of the things I appreciate about this movie is the accurate portrayal of punching a piece of glass. Don't fucking do that, kids. There's no way to do it that you're going to put your fist through a fucking pane of glass and not cut the shit out of yourself. It's going to happen. So kids, don't do that.
Yeah, Ryan
ends up in the
fucking himself up.
He's an idiot. Like, he's just such a great idiot, punched through a piece of glass, and suddenly we cut to him bleeding out in the fucking ambulance. And then, he gets his fucking arm broke later, like a day later. This guy's he's hapless, and he's the one who's a private investigator with a license to carry a gun. That scene where he's in the stall with the gun and he's trying to pull his pants up and keep his gun on Crowe. Dude, I was fucking howling. The door's closed and he's trying to push it back open. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was a good example for me of just like, I don't know who this is made for. It's boring. It's not funny. The characters are, and like Ryan's trying and Russell's asleep.
Comedy.
Ryan's trying and Russell's asleep. It just, nothing gelled. I kind of sat there stone faced. There's a few moments, but overall it's just kind of, it's weird. Now, of course, you can make any movie you want. I'm fine with it. I just don't need to see kids involved in sex ring story, minor involved with all this titties everywhere. It's just so strange to me. I just didn't really like it.
It wasn't like, I thought they towed the line with that very well, because she is.
They do. She's like the Penny in Inspector Gadget,
Well, she's the Penny, but she's also older and wiser than her years, and because of that, it doesn't seem like it's a kid in all this shit. It seems like it's an adult in a young person's body or something. And they toe the line really well.
Too.
Like
right in the beginning, the kid finds the dead body. I'm like, this is so strange to have with his kids and stuff.
When Healy comes in and catches her with that porn star and they're watching porn, he's like, get the fuck out of here, go home, and she's the kid who's initiating all this and being annoying and won't go away.
That's how I realized it's an older script. I'm like, that makes more sense because you would do, like, if this was made in the 80s, I wonder truly how old this idea is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It's totally possible. I had a lot of fun trying to figure out where it was, like what the year was. Like, there's a shot of. I think
it's 77.
Yeah. I know, but it took me a minute to get that. Did that start the movie saying that?
I think they say that.
I could have sworn it didn't. It just no. Like I think there's just some signage and some things that are kind of indicating it. I think it was 78 at one point was the car show. So that was like, okay, 77. But early on.
A Jaws 2 billboard.
You see a Jaws 2 billboard. But early on, they pan down from the Comedy Store, and on the marquee out front is fucking Elaine Boozler and Tim Allen. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, in 77? Is that necessarily accurate? Because Tim Allen pops on HBO with Men Are Pigs in like 84 or 5.
And then the kid's bedroom has a Sex Pistols and a Clash poster, and it's like in 77 already.
Exactly, in 77, exactly. So it was like,
but the rest of it's really kind of accurate, though.
They did a really good job with the rest of it. I agree. I love that fucking disco party. Well, I guess it's not disco. It's
Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was cool.
Which was awesome. And so I love that because they cut to Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then that party's raging. It looks like a cool ass party. Looked like a lot of fun. I like the chemistry between Crowe and him. That Coke party was hilarious because he's just getting fucked up, and you can see that Crowe's got a drinking problem, right? He's like, get that shit away from me. And him falling down the fucking hill and finding the dead body was hilarious. I enjoyed that stuff. I thought it was fun. Again, he just plays a great idiot. Throwing that goddamn dead body over the fence and it hitting that, just falling onto that table at the party. Jesus.
That was amusing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what was following orders, Marty? Hitler.
They reference Hitler many times in this film.
He's obsessed with Hitler in this movie.
And the whole thing, it's not a porn movie, it's an art movie, but then it's a porno movie with a plot.
Right.
And that's kind of like, not to get ahead of myself, but I almost feel like that's the other movie. Like, for real. Well, I won't get too ahead of myself there, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Quali, I love how when she's being
weird that she got killed.
Yeah, it was a little strange. I didn't expect it for sure.
God damn.
The Mr. Blue was the one that I thought was really played well because you're just like, you don't care that he gets killed at all. You're just like, yeah, kill that motherfucker. He's worthless.
Mm-hmm. Like it's, and obviously it's way better than Rollerball, but watching, I'm like, there's a kernel of something that wants to come out and it doesn't come out all the way for me. Like the whole Russell Crowe, like, you don't want to do this. You're making me not going to give you the information. And like, I wanted to see more of that type of, because that's unique. Mm-hmm. And instead it kind of just felt like that fourth Beverly Hills Cop movie to me, where I'm just like, yeah,
mm-hmm.
It's just another action film.
I love that. I love that mix of the guy who can carry the gun and is probably has some chops as a detective, and then the other dude who's pretty decent detective and is more than willing to get violent quickly if need be. And I thought that was a great mixture. And like when they get to the Burbank Hotel and the airport hotel, and he goes, if you tell me now, he'll stop doing that. And the bartender goes, what? And Russell Crowe just grabs his tie and slams his face into the bar. I started laughing. I was like, Jesus, this movie. Okay, Jesus, very funny. Nobody's getting killed at the Burbank Hotel.
What is that, like America's Sweethearts? What was the line? Nobody's going to get killed at the airport Hilton, or
yeah. So let me get this straight. You made a porno film where the point was the plot.
Exactly.
That had me laughing.
Those are called romance novels.
Harlequin romance novels.
Exactly.
So one of the things that I really, really liked about this movie, and it's just because I ran a movie theater, was, when they finally get into the projection booth at the motor show, right? And they're stealing the film and all that shit. So there's a really nice Christie projector.
Oh
That
yeah.
fucker's it's pristine. It's gorgeous, 35 millimeter. But what was really cool was they right next to it is a breakdown table, right, which you use to pull a film off a platter and put it back into individual reels, right? Because when you build a film up to project it, you put it all into one big long piece. You know, you don't switch between reels anymore like the old days. So you build it up in one long piece and you put it on what they call a platter system. And they had the Christie platter system there, which is the one we had 10 of them at our movie theater, and they were fucking bulletproof, easy to maintain, easy to fix, and just bulletproof. If you timed them and kept them, you had to gauge their speed and adjust them. But as long as you kept that shit up every week or so, they ran like champs. And I just remember seeing that in the movie and going, "Oh man, that takes me back, 12 years ago. That's awesome."
That film canister really was bulletproof.
Yeah, no shit. Those film canisters are not bulletproof, kids. That's not accurate.
They had good production design on this for the
I
most
agree.
part. There's a few egregious things, but most of the time it's like that's pretty good for something that wasn't originally a 70s story in the first place. I think it probably serves it better in the 70s.
I
Modern
agree.
time, it would have felt even
Yeah.
weirder.
Yeah. That kind of, yeah. Really, the 70s is back when that kind of pornography was being made. Now it would be
Right.
digital and weird and all that kind of shit, like shooting it on film and all that type of stuff. And
Yeah, because then it just would have been the Mallrats ending. Play the tape now, Silent Bob.
yeah,
And then, it's
yeah.
getting in the middle of the film. Yeah.
Brody, Snoochie Boochies.
I said now, Silent Bob.
So, folks, if you watch this movie and you enjoy alcohol, I have a game for you. It's very simple. Every time that Ryan Gosling falls down in this film, take a drink. By the end of it, you will be having quite a nice night, guaranteed.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think he falls easily 10 times in this movie. That's the other thing. It's nice to see people smoking in movies, man. Like I miss smoking.
Watch Gosling smoke in this film. It cuts
Uh-huh.
away as he does his inhale. So
Fine.
it's right around it, but they found a way to where he
nice,
didn't
though.
have to smoke the
It's nice,
cigarette
though.
and still do the smoking acting.
I mean, I quit because I like breathing and all, but yeah. I remember I've been watching some of these 70s movies where everybody's just huffing and puffing away. I'm just like, yeah.
What do I do with my hands?
Yeah. Smoke a cigarette like John Wayne.
Like and subscribe.
I also love that elevator scene where they go up to the penthouse and they get off the elevator and they just let the doors close. It's like, holy shit. And Matt Bomer's a nice surprise as the assassin. He's a good evil kind of assassin. A lot of fun there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and David Keith's death is quite awesome. I enjoy David Keith dying. Again, that he and Russell have a really great, fun little. It reminded me of They Live, the Roddy Piper fight, and They Live. So yeah, if you want, like I said, if you want a good action scene, you call David Keith. He'll hook you up.
If you kill this guy, I'll never talk to you again.
I'd happily watch a sequel of this. They'll never make one, but I'd happily watch.
Yeah,
I'd happily watch that. Yeah, unfortunately, it did. Yeah, it gets very, very high ratings on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb.
Does, yeah, it's got a cult following.
Yeah, it's got a 7.5 out of 400,000 scores on IMDb, and I think Rotten Tomatoes it's way up there. You either kind of like this type of humor or you don't.
Yeah, I don't hate the movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just not for me. Doesn't gel for me at all. It was really kind of a slog to sit through, but I got through it.
I do think it suffered from being too long, for sure. Like at an hour 56, I mean, you need to cut 10 minutes of that.
Yeah, I'm like an hour in. I'm like, I already know that this woman's going to be behind everything, and I'm like, another hour.
Yeah. It needed about 10 minutes off.
But it does get more interesting as it goes.
The ending was a little it was fine, I guess.
Yeah, they don't prosecute. Now we're off to our
next
job.
And he's drinking at the bar, and hey,
At
look
least
at
you're drinking, though. Yeah.
I did like. I'm
You
sorry,
look
you look.
happy.
What do you say? I'm sorry, you look like a Filipino in this.
I was like, yeah, I look Mexican.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I mean, overall, not the best movie I've ever seen, but I would watch it again. I thought it was kind of funny. Um, again, I liked Crowe and Gosling. I'm really enjoying this late Russell Crowe career. I think it's kind of almost better than most of his other stuff. I just think, again, at Pope's Exorcist is probably for me the pinnacle of his career. I just fucking love that Crowe as an Italian priest is fucking awesome. But I'd give this 3.5 stars. I think 3 to 3.5, but I'm gonna go 3.5.
I give it 1.5.
Come on.
Pretty bad. Like I said, it's not like a bad movie, but nothing worked for me.
Well, 1.5 is a bad movie. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, for me, but
Yeah.
like I said, it was well made.
Yeah.
Its production design is nice. There's a few moments where I kind of chuckled, but just like, yeah, just. But I'm not going to say it's bad because I know, like, if you like this thing, you're going to like this type of movie. It's not like I'm like, oh, this is universally bad, like Rollerball, where everybody's going to hate it.
Oh no, this is no fucking Rollerball
This is
2002
just
by any stretch of the imagination, or Dragonheart 2.
Yeah, this is like a step up from that, but yeah, I'd be happy not to have to watch that one again.
I probably honestly will watch that again at some point. I'll probably give it another viewing because I think I probably missed a few things on my first viewing, and I did enjoy it. But anyways, that moves us to Tomboy. She's a road runner. Tomboy. She's a tail gunner. Tomboy. Yeah. Tomboy, get the fuck off your ass now, Tomboy.
I think there was something about donuts. What is Tomboy?
Tomboy. Here we go. Tomboy, 1985, rated R, 1 hour, 30 minutes. A strong-willed female stock car driver challenges her chauvinistic crust to a race to win his respect and get him into bed. Directed by the magnificent Herb Fried, written by Ben Zelig, stars Betsy Russell, Gerard Christopher, and Christy Summers. Storyline. Scrappy, willful, and fiercely self-reliant Spitfire Hoyden automobile mechanic Thomasina Tommy Boyd develops a huge crush on cocky race car driver dreamboat hunk Randy Starr after meeting Randy at a party held at a jerky rich guy's house. However, male chauvinist Randy won't take Tommy seriously because she's a gal. So Tommy dares Randy to a high-stakes, souped-up automobile race in order to win over his respect. Tagline, it's not just a man's world anymore.
What is this movie? I've been scratching my head for a couple months thinking about this thing, trying to figure out what is this? I stumbled onto it a while back, and I'd had it for a long time. We were actually going to riff it on the old Access show and never got around to it. That and also it was on that Too Cool for School set with like 11 other trashy 80s movies.
Cave Girl and Jocks and yeah.
And so this came on, and I'm
My
like,
Chauffeur.
I'm like, what is this? There's like,
Coach.
Is it a comedy? I guess, but it's not really funny. But neither was Valley Girl, right? And we consider that a comedy, but it's not traditional ha-ha. But it's not really a drama. But it's not really romance. But
just because it fails to be funny doesn't mean it's not intended to be a comedy, right?
Well,
it's intended to be a comedy,
right? Because they paid me in donuts. I did laugh at that. So
it's
maybe
screwball. It's an 80s screwball comedy, straight up.
And then I thought, I know 40 years ago you could use boobs to make a movie around, but
you still can.
Could you call it soft core? Because not really, because there's not enough sex in it for soft core.
There's no.
It's like it's a romance novel that got turned into a movie in a way is the closest thing to it. But it's not Skinamax because this shit went to the theaters and made a shit ton of money.
It's back when they made movies and directed them at kids that were 14 to 19, 20 years old. And that male market would go to see these types of things because they knew they were going to see some boobs.
Yeah, and you could
maybe a little bush if they got lucky.
And they time it all around that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh, dude,
specifically
listen.
the friend gets nude, and then you don't see Tomboy get nude until halfway, but they show in the beginning the shower scene where it's like, oh,
Dude,
this is going to be a sexy movie. It's just
it's
so
bare ass overproduction credits, man.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
Crown International way, sir.
From the producers of the Beach Girls.
Crown International was like, look, you guys have to. The audience has to know that they need to stick around to see this girl nude. So we'll show her butt. We'll show her in the shower. Crown International is a sign of a low quality good time, sir. That's what Crown International is about.
But isn't that what porn used to be? Just barely enough of a story to get to the shots of the sex, right? And so this is kind of like just barely enough of a comedy to get to the boobs. But it almost feels like there's more going on than that in a weird kind of way.
I mean, I think in the 70s, when porn was first coming out, they wrapped it in actual stories like Behind the Green Door and you know, The Devil and Mr. Whatever. Those all I know is the names. Anyway.
Yeah. And then things like American Pie put more story in between the nudity. Right?
Well, and I think I just think that these are more like R-rated racy comedies, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that they're softcore porn. There's not a lot of simulated sex in these movies.
Yeah.
You know, like Emmanuel
nudity too. So
Emmanuel would be like softcore porn, right? And that's literally, you know, fly to foreign country, have sex, go to dinner, have sex. You know, it's just like you said, it's one scene after another to do this. They're telling an actual story here and trying to put a little bit of female forward kind of girl power into it.
It's just so slight that you almost go,
yeah,
is
totally.
That really the intention?
It's almost like it's like lip service. Yeah, it's almost like lip service. I'll say this. I read a piece of trivia about Betsy Russell, and she was asked what she thought about the trailer showing her character as a strong female lead, but then cutting to her in the shower, right? Just what we're talking about. And she said, I never really paid attention to it. I guess strong females still have to take showers. They still like to feel sexy. So I don't think there's one thing that should stop someone from feeling sexy and showing their body if that's what they choose to do. I don't think it makes any difference in the world. You know?
All I know is I was 30 minutes into the movie. There's no plot to get in the way of the story at all. And I don't care. I am just marveling in the 80s-ness of it all. This movie is such a time capsule. I think the fact that I didn't see it or maybe saw it once, that I look at it now and I'm just transported to 1985.
You didn't see this on cable?
Maybe once.
I saw this on cable over and over again as a kid.
It takes me back to the alarm clock that buzzes. To the donut adventure that feels like its own side movie.
So let me give you a perfect 80s moment. You know, when she plays basketball with the boys and then she gets on her the montages. But then she gets on her motorcycle and she's driving onto the court and she shoots a shot while driving, right? And it goes right in. And then we cut to two of the guys and there's a slow-mo high five. That is the most fucking 80s thing. My God, that is the most fucking 1985 fucking thing you're ever going to see in your entire life. I apologize for my language. I'm working on it. But holy moly, bajoli, it is ridiculous. That is quintessential desperate to be cool, but lame most of the time 80s. Everybody wanted to have the cool high five moment. But when they did it, everybody looked like a dork.
And yet we didn't think that at the time. It's only now we look back and it looks dorky. But at the time, it was like, whatever. You never even gave it a second thought. So many music video montages.
Oh, God. And then here comes Christy Summers. You know, God bless you, Crown International. All the way from Muggsy's Girls into Tomboy, here comes Christy Summers. Not to be crude, but is Christy wearing a merkin in the shower scene?
It's entirely possible, but probably not in this low budget movie.
It looks because it looks like some sort of like plastic or something is over her.
Oh, really?
Her downward region, yeah. Because it feels like I know it's not an open matte. The Blu-ray I have is not open matte, but it feels like the camera's just a little too low, and they were supposed to cut that out. And it looks when she remember when she talks about that guy having a small penis, and he comes in and says he's gay, and she turns to him. You can see from the side she's got this weird thing on her. Lower analyst,
that's funny.
Anyway, yeah.
So the director of photography of this film is Brian England.
Wow.
Now we know Brian England because he was the DP on The Party Animal.
Yep.
But Jason Takes Manhattan as well. And so no wonder all these montages appeal to me in a way, because I'm getting that party animal vibe from this. And it's the producers of the Beach Girls, funny enough. But also the second unit camera operator, I believe. That guy worked on Hamburger, the movie.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of,
that might have been Brian
ties
England
to a lot
again,
of crazy 80 movies.
So it all ties together. I'm like, well, no wonder I have such an odd fascination with this. This is like another movie to go alongside that. It's got that feel, you know.
I think for me, the worst thing in this movie, and I say this, Betsy Russell, I love you. Call me. But she was really, laughing is not really her instrument. It's not really a note she plays very well on her instrument as well. This is the way I'll say it.
Put that in the trailer.
Like some of those little cute little laughs she was doing, I was just like, ooh. And I don't remember as a kid, like them annoying me, but now that I'm an adult, I'm like, like, but follow me on this too, by the way. So so she and her girlfriend go out, they run into the two motorheads who have the car. What do you say to a little prick? Good night, little prick. Right. And they take off and they get chased. So the thought process during the chase is, let's chase these girls, knock them over on their bike, and have a good old rapey session. Like, what's the thought process between chasing these two girls on their motorcycle? I mean, even into like an underground parking garage where you're like, you know, are you trying to kill them because they didn't want to have sex with you? And like, what the fuck?
People are always, Revenge of the Nerds, all these are canceled. I'm like, guys, you have completely forgotten about shit like Tomboy.
Totally.
It makes nerds look like fucking nothing. I mean, this movie probably has the most lecherous 80s sex comedy character of them all. That blonde dude.
Oh God, Junior. I always forget about Junior. And why does he look so slimy? Good acting is why.
Oh my
and his
God.
hair and his wardrobe and his makeup. He hates this actor. He hates this movie, by the way. He absolutely, he's in interviews, he's just like, he just makes choking noises and is like,
don't bring that up again. Well, it's from the director of Graduation Day, the slasher classic, and it's the writer's only credit.
Wow. Cynthia Ann Thompson's in this movie. You know where she's from? Cave Girl. She's Cave Girl.
You know, here's a crude, trivial fact about this film. Every woman with a speaking part is topless in the film.
Really? Every one of them?
At one point in the movie, yes, even if it's short. So you almost go, what was going on here?
This is not. This is just hidden. This is just, again, like a shell, like a kind of, like you were saying, kind of like a porno movie where you create a story so you could show the fucking. This movie has created a girl empowerment sort of story to put in all this nudity, right? And you can tell it's geared towards men. It's not for girls at all. It's totally
maybe by now men. It is, though. It's transgressed over the years.
I'd love to hear a woman's point of view on this. And maybe she'd be like, yeah, you guys are absolutely. Maybe she'd be like, no, you're wrong. It's female empowerment.
It's like an amalgam of so many 80s movies, from Flashdance to, you talk about the empowerment issue. It turns into Heart Like a Wheel in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, so her dad was a pilot. Her dad was a pilot. He's dead. She lives on her own. She works at a garage where she manufactures what she needs. She's such a great mechanic. She works for this old man, and she is building her own electronic ignition system for her own racing car and all this stuff, It's like, so she's a total tomboy. She's into all this guy stuff. She just also happens to be stunningly beautiful.
Well, that's the rub, right? Yeah, the movie meanders until it finds that racing angle. And the last half hour, 67 minutes in, it's almost like a 70s movie, or where it's like we just wander until, like a Cheech and Chong, until we finally find a plot. And then it's like, oh, race, that's what we're going to do. We could have done like 12 other storylines, but we settled on the racing one. And then she builds this insanely souped up car with the little fucking computer thing.
Oh God, it looks like shit.
Like there's more going on to the movie than just soft core, which just makes it so bizarre and fascinating.
Well, you have to have a story. You have to have You know, a lot of these 80s
You
movies
should have a
always had
story.
that, well, some sort of story that at least allows you to show the boobies. But also these 80s movies, especially Crown International Pictures, tended to have a big competition at the end as part of the big end of the second act,
Mm-hmm.
third act. Coach, Jocks.
They're all on the same set too.
Yeah, they're all Crown International Pictures, right? And so they tended to. It's an easy trope, right? It's
Yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds does it.
It's pure 80s B movie goodness with bad music and slightly above the level of a sitcom, right?
Yeah.
Just enough, but it's like
Just
a dirty
enough.
sitcom.
Yep. So, do you know who the best actor in this film is?
The mechanic guy, the old guy at the
Richard Erdman. Do you know who Richard Erdman is?
what's he done?
He's in fucking Stalag 17, sir.
That's why he looks so familiar.
He's one of the guys that runs the barracks in Stalag 17.
Wow, the connection.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The minute I saw him, I was like, oh,
that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So 35 minutes in, I have a note that says, my God, this pacing is rough. It's so rough.
There is no pacing.
The party, you want to talk about the party? I mean, she walks into that party, finds the dude that's supposed to be the guy of her dreams, and he's watching porn.
Yeah, like the other film.
And she storms out, and he chases after, like, give me a chance, and what kind of party is this? I mean, have you ever in your life been to a party like that? It's the weirdest party I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's like in the 80s in a movie.
It's like what people who never have been to parties thinks parties are.
Right.
Just like, all the girls are just topless at a party, right? Like there's some girls just going to start stripping at the party, and all the other girls are going to be like, wow.
And Tommy, the tomboy, she doesn't like that party. Why? We find out later she's country.
That's right.
She's hanging out in the country bar. She don't want to go to this rock-based party, right?
That's that's one of my favorite bits in the movie is when they cut to her in the bar and she's just mouthing the words to that song. I thought, oh, okay, that's a decent little moment.
And dude almost gets lucky, the sad sack guy that gets picked on through the whole movie.
Yeah. So there's another thing. So the woman in the Corvette that pulls up and exposes her breasts and gives him a ride.
Michelle Bauer shows up.
Michelle fucking Bauer shows up in this fucking movie, sir.
Just to be topless.
To be topless.
It whittles it down to just, this is all it is. The rest of the movie waits. So this is like, boom, I'm here, done. The movie could have been 10 seconds long. Michelle Bauer, she's been in so many fucking movies.
So many. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. So, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Do you remember when buzz off was a phrase, Marty? Do you remember when people said buzz off?
There was a He-Man character named Buzz Off. He was a bee.
He was
based off of that whole buzz off kid. What?
Buzz off kid. Mitchell.
I said buzz off kid. Is that Adam Rich?
I think my favorite bit in the movie is the girl basically saying to that dude in the hallway, like, I'm not having sex with you. I want to go home. And he's just taking his clothes off.
Oh yeah, that's
and she just keeps talking. He just keeps taking his clothes off till finally he's naked. And she's like, "All right, take me, you master." Or whatever.
You don't need a story. You just need moments like that.
Yes, I thought that was actually kind of funny.
Tomboy's idea of foreplay is boxing.
Oh, dude, and my favorite moment is it. First off, fighting in a leather miniskirt. That's got to require Jedi-like training. But secondly, I love the fact that he's finally just like fine and just decks her. Like I laughed so hard,
and she's happy about it.
Yeah, she thinks it's funny, but for a moment you think he's just completely knocked her out. It's like,
oh no, what happened?
Oh my God, what the hell? I started laughing like you idiot. Sure, I mean, I guess I can remember numerous times in the 80s when I just decked some girl and seconds later we were lip locked. It happens all the time in the 80s. That's what people don't understand about that decade.
Well, it's here we go again with the 80s, everything being all ambiguous, and so we got gender swapped Vision Quest going here where she's the butch woman and he's kind of the effeminate guy with this makeup.
He's kind of a pretty boy. Yeah, he's kind of a pretty boy. Yeah. Oh, okay. One of the things I want to point out is the timing in this movie is fucking insane. The timing in this movie, it's a 90-minute movie, right? So at exactly 1 hour, hit the button, Betsy Russell's topless. Mm-hmm. At exactly
it's like
hour.
Roger Corman method of How you're
Yeah,
supposed
like
to
just
sprinkle the nudity throughout the film.
And at 1 hour, the heroine is naked. Boom, love scene.
Yeah.
Move on. You know, it's
Pure
just like holy
exploitation
shit,
and a
perfectly
little bit
timed.
enough of a moral to where we get away with all of this. And
Oh yeah, you got to have a little bit of moral. That's how you
Mhm.
wrap it all up, and gotta have that.
But thinking back on it, I think I figured out what this movie is. It's like an understated Russ Meyer movie.
I
I
can see
don't think
that.
this movie exists without those Russ Myers films.
That's probably true.
And that's why it doesn't have to make a lot of sense, because it's just about the boobs. But it's more than that. It's about a fake ass Buddy Holly song when they're riding on the motorcycles, which made me laugh.
Terrible. I think this is probably one of the top 5 worst love scenes of the 80s, possibly of all time.
And yet, gratuitous
it's really
nudity
bad.
on both parties involved. It's not just women. You get the butts in this film too.
You get guy's butt, and she gets to grab it, I guess, you know. And my wife is always a big fan of full male frontal nudity because she thinks that there's it's equal. It's about time dudes do it, right?
Really odd scene where the guy walks in the shower and shows that he doesn't have a small dick and says, "Oh, but you can't have none because he's gay."
Because I'm gay.
Who wrote this?
I don't know.
Well, we'll never know because they only wrote one movie.
Why is Chester using a pipe wrench on a piece of PVC pipe? that is not the right Chester. You should know better. You're a mechanic.
Like the part where Tommy's like doing this under the car, absent-mindedly, like she's actually while they're talking. I'm like, you're not doing anything.
Just make the ratchet do the clicking noise. You'll be all right.
Yeah, weird subplot about her friend who wanted to be an actor who needs new connects, and
yeah, and the donut joke and the old man,
like satire on the industry in a little way.
Yeah.
And what about that first dancing montage where it's like pseudo flash dance, pure 80s Jane Fonda workout video nonsense?
I know. It's just
how much coke was on that set?
So much coke had to have been. By the way, Michelle Bauer is also in Get Crazy. I was looking up her credits just because I was like, I know I've seen her in a bunch of stuff, but Get Crazy was pretty nuts.
Her and Linnea Quigley and Brink Stevens, they're the scream queens of the 80s. You know, they were. So it only makes sense that she shows up in this movie. No dialogue, boobs and gone. Because I guess the Marky guy does get lucky towards the end.
I guess so. Yep. Hey, everybody gets lucky.
He wasn't the final asshole. He was just asking every woman that he met on a date.
Well, he's one of those. It's what's the old joke from David Cross? It's like, he's walking down New York City and he saw a guy in a trash truck. He was slowly driving next to the curb and talking to a girl who was walking down the street. Hey, pretty, hey, come on, baby. And he's like trying to pick this girl up while he's driving his trash truck. And he said, I can think this guy's mindset is just like, I get one no, I get 99 no's, but all I need is that one yes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, trash men make good money. It's funny you talk about the female empowerment angle of the movie, and it's like, yeah, because all the women in this movie, they put up with all these shithead guys, but they don't really care. I mean, she even gets patted on the ass by that dude at one point. And it's just like, whatever. This is just indicative of the world that we live in. But they really are the ones who have all the power, the women. Yeah,
the male, I don't want to say, it's not misogyny. That's the hatred of women. But there's that male condescension and, that type of shit. That sexism is
sleazy guys, but you also get these really passive guys in the movie, too. Which almost kind of makes you go, maybe this has transgressed to something that you could look at as a women empowerment movie, even though it's really not. But it kind of is. It straddles this weird fence, and my balls hurt. quote Jim Morrison there.
Oh shit, that was good. That got me. The final car race is really lame. Like it's lame.
It's no Knight Rider. Yeah.
That car looks weird. I was just about to say she made her own version of Kit with all those buttons. One of the buttons says Pulsion. What the fuck is Pulsion? I know what propulsion is, but what the fuck is Pulsion?
Well, it's like
Pulsion. It's like Tegrity.
Tegrity.
Tegrity. You need to get some fucking integrity up in you.
Get some pulsion going.
Get some pulsion.
Remember, she's country.
That weird frame grab during the credits where it's just her in like a robotic sort of move and shit.
Oh, yeah.
What in the hell, dude? It's very weird.
And she goes off to become Shirley Muldowney at the end of the film. Yeah.
There's a special thanks in the credits to Malibu Grand Prix. You remember Malibu Grand Prix?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know,
Malibu track, right?
Yeah, the track, exactly. So those of you who don't know, Malibu Grand Prix was like a franchise go-kart company. And what was really cool about Malibu Grand Prix was they had two types of go-karts. They had the kind of the small, normal go-karts that you would see with a little engine on the back, you know, one gear, go around the track. And then if you were 14 or above, they had a quarter-sized Indy car with, I think it was 3 gears or 2 gears, or at least a high and low. But you had to have like a learner's permit, or you had to be, you know, get some sort of special permission. You had your parents sign off and all that shit. And I wanted to do that shit so bad.
Yeah, I never
By
got
the time
to
I
do
got
it
old
either.
enough, I never got to do it. By the time I got old enough, they had gone out of business. And I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, they were a big deal. Yeah.
The cool thing, though, is that Mario Andretti, he has started there's a race, a kind of a indoor go-kart track now that you can do that with. And all their karts are electric. And you go up and down levels on them. It looks really cool. And if I was 25, I would probably be wasting all of my money at the go-kart track.
Well, you just explained something to a younger generation. Why is there a go-kart scene in Clerks 2? Because of Malibu Grand Prix. That was the thing that was very important to our youth, so it makes sense for them to cut loose and go ride on those go-karts. Yeah.
That's one of those things that there are things in the 80s, I don't know how else to put it, that you always wanted to do, but your parents just didn't have the money or just weren't going to spend it to do something like that. Malibu Grand Prix is a great one. A trip to Disneyland is another big, you know, like something like that.
Going to the garage and hanging out with Tommy is another thing.
Yeah.
Parents aren't letting you do that.
Parents not letting you do that. They're paying you in donuts. That's not fair.
You paid me in donuts. It's the best offer you're going to get. Now, what happens is her friend goes off to this acting gig for this donut commercial, and it's all overly sexualized. And the guy loves it, but then they can't put it on the air, and they pay her in donuts instead of money, and then she pays the mechanic in donuts for her car repair. Not Tommy, but the guy who owns the garage, I guess, that Tommy works for. Do you think maybe is her dad or grandfather? But I don't think she's related to this person. She's like in her early 20s, right? They're not teenagers, right?
Yeah, she's definitely grown up. She's not going to high school or anything like that. And he is, I'd say he's probably like her, you know, he's probably looks after her or whatever, but he's not like her dad.
That makes this different too, because it's not high schoolers, it's not college kids, it's people who are already young adults out in life. Yeah. One of these. So that's different for a sex comedy from that time period. And
for sure.
It's the progenitor, is that the word? Of
progenitor
of Skinamax, but it's not Skinamax itself because it actually went to the movie theater.
Well, this would easily play on Skinamax late night for sure. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, even Skinamax got fucking crazy, you know, with the Red Shoe Diaries and all the crazy nutty shit it would do later in the early 90s.
Yeah, you cut the nudity out of this, you got a PG-13
for sure.
You know, it's very benign. Very benign.
The whole movie's terribly boring. It's not a good movie.
And it's short though. But the most fascinating thing for me is just I get the sense memory of the mid 80s from this movie very, very strong.
I get a lot of nostalgia from it. I mean, I watched this on cable, you know, several times at the house and that type of thing. And I think I saw it with friends. I think I showed it to you at some point or something like that. But
I think I'd remember that.
Because back in the 80s, I thought it was, you know, my taste of movies was completely different. I thought it was just genius, you know. Well, but I was a huge fan of fucking Crown International. Like when I look back, I'm like, I liked Cave Girl. I liked Jocks. I liked this one.
Yeah.
I liked My Chauffeur. You know, if it was Crown International, I kind of was like, because, you know, they would do goofy shit, you know, kind of like Revenge of the Nerds. Where, you know, goofy and off the wall. And
that's 20th Century Fox making a Crown International movie.
Yes.
And it gets
very
all the
much
attention.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, Hot Dog the Motion Picture, Joysticks, fucking, you know, Hamburger, all these movies that these 80s kind of bad B movies that were just
Pondo.
prevalent everywhere. They were so much fucking fun.
That's what Pondo is,
You
I
can't.
used to say, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you can't put too much stock in them or think too much about them because they're easy to pick apart and fall apart. But if you just kind of just let the movie happen and kind of just pick your moments to enjoy it, it usually is, at least fun.
It's almost like a 70s drive-in type of feel. Just meander or the
that's
little
exactly what I
race
mean.
car race at the end. That's the whole movie. But like I used to think, the party animal, I'm like, okay, that's the end of that genre. It can go no further. No, Tomboy's 2 years after, where we're still kind of trying to make these movies, but what do you do after that? Well, you make the thing that turns into Skinamax.
Right. Well, and this was, I think Betsy Russell basically, she did a few more movies after this. She did some A-Team, Murder, She Wrote. She did Cheerleader Camp.
Cheerleader Camp.
Camp Fear, Delta, Heat, Amore. But she started, a few things started, and then she took a big
Brian
break.
England worked on Cheerleader Camp too.
10 or 11 years until she came into that Saw franchise.
That's right. That's why she's doing the con circuit now.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, she was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 of them, 5 of them.
I only watched the first 2, so missed out on that one.
So these were directed by Herb Fried,
director of Graduation Day.
Herb Fried directed 10 movies,
and Linnea Quigley was in that movie that we know of. We don't know if this guy did porn or anything. That's uncredited.
Well, I'm not counting his porn. I don't know if he did porn or anything. Yeah,
I don't know, but
he's credited on IMDb with 10 movies: AWOL, Haunts, Beyond Evil, Graduation Day. Tomboy is his 5th. Survival Game, Sticking Together, Subterfuge, Dead Punks, and then Paradise Lost in 2000.
Wow. So if Ed Wood had lived, maybe he would have been making some Tomboy type movies in the 80s. And people go, oh, it's so sad. Ed Wood, he started making porn by the end of his life. Ed Wood would have made porn in the 50s had he could have, if he could have, I think. There's no shame in this game. It's just what it is.
You got to pay if you're wanting to, back then, if you're wanting to pay the bills and you're not a big time director, then you probably do porn.
It's not like he turned into a different person and decided to start doing. It's like, no, he was just, but of course he probably would have liked to have done more of his other stuff. But
Billy Walsh did fucking porn. He's not above it.
He's bringing back the full bush.
He's bringing back the full bush.
That's fucking hilarious.
Let's see. You got anything else about this movie?
I feel like I had something else to say, but
my last note is that Michelle Bauer has over 270 credits in IMDb.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Quite a few. It's crazy, and some that probably aren't on IMDb because there are other credits too. But that's a long time ago for a whole different podcast. I guess what I was going to say is like, you could be offended by movies like this, but I think it's like either don't watch them or realize life is too short. The folly of man and women and sex can be funny. Nobody's trying to be an asshole here. It was just trying to fit 90 minutes, a couple of dumb jokes, and I like the time capsule aspect of it all. I know it's not everybody's favorite genre, but I find these things endlessly fascinating because it's a dead genre as well. Because they don't make these type of films anymore. The internet kind of destroyed a lot of.
They pop up every now and then, but they're not like they were back in the day where you'd get you'd get 10 of them a year, especially the B movie ones.
And you look at it now and not being 12, and there's nothing sexy about the movie at all, and so all that's left is what the fuck were they thinking?
Do you think that those movies, these like movies with the R and the boobies, all these booby movies type of things, do you think that died out due to the easy access of porn on the internet?
I think it did. It destroyed all that because you don't need that window of, oh man, I saw a boob.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's nothing anymore. I think we fucked up somewhere as a society.
It follows along with that. I was talking to somebody about that the other day and was like, there's a whole genre of movies in the 80s. It's just we've talked about it on Losing It, about losing your virginity.
Oh yeah, losing it's
and that genre is completely fucking. I mean, after American Pie, basically that genre is basically gone. the weird obsession that we had in the 80s with losing our virginities is, I guess, an 80s thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
maybe 70s and 80s.
Left over from the 70s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those 70s chicks, they were the wild ones, man. Or
no, 70s chicks, they were the wild ones.
They were the wild ones. Ours is, and he's all, when I get to college, I'm going to do this bang, 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 bang. And that is more dazed and confused, out of context quotes for the film Tomboy.
Oh my God.
And The Nice Guys, for that matter, too.
What do you give it?
Betsy Russell Crowe stars in Tomboyhood. We're watching that movie next, where she befriends a rock alien and they build a really cool racing spaceship, hook up with the space truckers.
So like Explorers, I guess.
Yeah. Same year. And then we got Ethan Hawke again. Now we're full circle. I give it 2.5.
I'm right there with you.
It, but it's just there. Yeah.
No. I give a full star for Betsy Russell because I absolutely adore her. But yeah, this movie's it's a Crown International picture. It's not great, but again, turn your brain off, enjoy it for just stupid entertainment. You might have a good time.
Right.
If you try to judge this movie through any sort of cinematic lens, you're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, that's not the way to watch Tomboy. But
sometimes,
Tomboy.
If you're also one of these people that enjoys a kind of a bad movie, this might be another one for you.
Watch it like you'd watch any other bad movie, or like a bad horror film, and it doesn't have killing; it just has dumb sexual puns that are pretty benign by today's standards. And then looking back at a movie that's 40 plus years old, it's really fucking weird to
it's weird.
Look at it now and see what plays or not. Well, next week we have a guest, or we have one of those other episodes we already announced, something like that. We're trying to keep the schedule somehow, guys, but just tune in. Do you tune into a pod?
I don't know.
Then we'll be here.
Download in, guys.
Yeah.
Smash that like and subscribe button. You want to get out of here on a quote?
Girls, boys, and everything in between. She even designed her own engine. Girls, boys, everything in between.
No, I didn't take the Lord's name in vain. I found it very useful, Janet. See you, Marty.
Later. Don't miss an episode. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, and keep listening to the show on the app of your choice. Do it now.